There comes a time, a quiet, unassuming moment, when you realize, with a soft shock of recognition, that the hardest part is already over. It's not over because everything was finally fixed or put back together perfectly like it was before. And it's certainly not because the story ended the way you once hoped, with that clear, satisfying resolution we see in films. No, it's over because the surge, the great emotional flood itself, has finally moved through you. It has completed its journey across the landscape of your heart. The water came, as it does. It wasn't a gentle rain, it was a rising tide. It rose from a place deep within and without, and it pulled with relentless gravity at everything you were trying to hold together, every plank and beam of your composure. And then, slowly, imperceptibly at first, without ever asking for your permission or checking if you were ready, it passed. The pressure eased, the current slackened, the roar diminished to a murmur and then to silence. What remains afterward is a profound quiet. But this isn't the fragile, fearful quiet that came before the storm, the kind that feels thin and might shatter at the slightest touch. This is a deeper quiet, a solid quiet, one that feels earned, one that feels true. You're no longer standing in the terrifying middle of the current, cold and breathless, bracing yourself for the next impact. Without noticing the exact steps, you found your way to the shore. You are standing on solid ground now, watching what's left of the turbulence ripple and slowly settle. The questions that once shouted in your mind, why, what if, how could I, no longer shout. They haven't disappeared. They may never fully leave, but they have softened, their edges worn smooth by time and exhaustion. They've become background noise, like a radio playing softly in another room, instead of a frantic command in your ear. You notice, almost with curiosity, that your own body has changed. Your breathing is slower, more even. Your shoulders, once hunched in defense, don't rise automatically at every memory. Your thoughts move now. They drift, they connect, they wander. They are no longer rushing toward an escape hatch that doesn't exist. Let's be clear, this is not forgetting. This is not erasure. This is integration. What passed through you, the love, the loss, the fury, the grief, shaped you. It carved new channels in your spirit. It deposited new sediment on your soul, but it did not take you with it. The water moved. You remained. Some things didn't survive the crossing. Certain expectations popped and vanished. Certain polished versions of yourself dissolved. Certain futures you once rehearsed were washed clean from the slate. And that is not failure. That is not a loss to mourn. That is truth revealing itself. The water carried away what was not anchored, what was not real, what was not truly yours to keep. So after the water passed, you are left with what could endure, what was built on bedrock, not sand. A steadier sense of who you are, a clearer understanding of what matters, a deep respect for the weight your heart can carry, and the fact that it still beats. You don't need to explain this calm to anyone. You don't need to justify why you're no longer fighting old battles. You don't need to prove that the pain meant something. It already did. Life continues, not loudly, not dramatically, but faithfully, simply. Small moments return, not as rewards, but as part of being alive. Light moves across familiar places. You laugh, a real laugh, without checking if it's allowed. You rest without guilt lying beside you. And in one of these ordinary moments, you realize something. It doesn't arrive with an announcement. It settles gently, like the shadow of a leaf. You are still here. You are intact, not unbroken, but reassembled. A mosaic of what was and what is. You are present, here, in this light, in this breath, in this quiet. You are enough, not a project to be fixed, but a person living after the flood. The water passed. It came. It rose. It pulled. It reshaped. And what remains, after all that movement, after all that sound, is you.